All right, the powers that be. My chair is a bit extra squeaky today. You know, the advantage of having a squeaky chair is that then you can pass gas and nobody will suspect it. They'll just think your chair is just a bit extra squeaky. That's the advantage of having a squeaky chair, guys. Man, that's squeaky. I promise I didn't eat any beans before making this lesson. All right. So, the powers that be. Have you ever heard this phrase before? It's a very common phrase that you will hear in English. And maybe you don't know what it means. The powers that be. What does that mean? The powers that be. Well, it means the people in authority. Okay? So, who is in authority in your country or in your business or in your life? Who are the people that are kind of, they have control over you? Who are they? Right? I mean, a lot of times, we don't really know who they are, right? Look at this example. It's up to the powers that be to decide if we're going to enter World War III. Hey, that rhymes. It's up to the powers that be to decide if we're going to enter World War III. Right? So who are we talking about here? These days, you hear a lot about war or future war, right? Right now it's November 2022, and we're hearing a lot in the news about war and a possible war between world powers, and it's like, so who are the powers that be? I mean, if the world goes to war, are you going to have any say in it? Am I going to have any say? No. I mean, I'm just a nobody sitting here behind my desk on my squeaky chair teaching you guys English. I have no say over who's going to fight who and when we're going to go to war. I have no say over that, right? And you probably don't either, right? We're just innocent sheep in this whole game, the game of thrones, right? The world's game of thrones, all the powers and stuff. Who's making these decisions? So who would have the power, right? Powers that be, right? So we're talking about the authority, right? The authority, the people or the groups, right? Sometimes we might be talking about like certain people. You might have an idea of who they are, but maybe you don't. Maybe it's just kind of like groups. You don't know who really has the power. I mean, let me ask you, do you actually know who controls things in your country? Who actually has the authority in your country to decide what happens? Who pulls the strings? Sometimes we say that in English, right? Who's pulling the strings, right? Imagine like, if you're do you know what a puppet is? All right, puppets are controlled by strings. So very often our leaders, maybe the president or the prime minister, they seem like the leader, but maybe it's people kind of behind the scenes who are pulling the strings. Do you think there are people pulling the strings in your country? It's kind of a bit vague sometimes, right? So we don't know who the powers of be are. And very often we use this, when you hear this phrase, right? The powers that be, it almost implies that people are referring to secret societies, right? What are some secret societies? Well, a secret society is like a group of people who are kind of secret. It's a group. Maybe they want some control or they want power or something like that, but nobody really knows if it's real or not. Let me know. Do you think secret societies are real? Do you think they exist? Right? You've probably heard of some of these secret societies, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Knights Templar. Now, to be honest, I don't know much about secret societies. Let me know if you know. Maybe you're in a secret society. Let me know down in the comments if you are in a secret society. And let me know how I can join. I don't know even where I would start to join a secret society. Would I just go on Google and type in how to join a secret society. I'm not sure, but maybe you're part of a secret society. Maybe you can let me in maybe you can get my foot in the door somehow, right? If you get your foot in the door, that means you kind of, you start somewhere, right? Like if you get your foot in the door, got an eyelash in my eye, guys. Instead of getting my foot in the door of a company, or in this case, my foot in the door of your secret organization, your secret society, I got an eyelash in the door of my eye, right? Your eyelids, kind of like the door of your eye, right? So I got an eyelash in the door instead of a foot in the door. Okay. But let me know if you believe in these kind of secret societies. Probably the most common ones that I've heard of are the Freemasons or the Illuminati. You hear these words, right? But I don't know anything about them. Maybe you know about them, right? Hey, maybe we should start a secret society here at Mad English TV. It's a plane flying over, ruining my video. Let me know, would you like to start a secret society? It can be a secret society of learning English. We can learn English secretly. Wouldn't that be fun? A secret English learning society. Let me know if you like my idea down in the comments. Okay, so whether we believe in these or not, there's stuff happens in the world where you really have to stop and think, what just happened? Right? Remember a few years ago, there was a certain someone who, I won't mention his name, he was in jail, and he was said to have hanged himself, remember? And nobody believed that story. All right, the government wanted everybody to think he hanged himself, but nobody believed he hanged himself. Remember, the cameras in the jail just happened to go off, or they happened to stop working. I don't know what happened. They went offline right when he died. Everybody knows someone killed him, right? But the official story was that he hanged himself. Remember? So a certain someone, okay, you can say this if you are thinking of someone, but you don't want to say their name for whatever reason, right? So I could say a certain someone, I won't say who, right? Very often when we say this, a certain someone, I won't say who, right, was said to have hanged himself. His death will remain shrouded in mystery. Okay, was said to have. Notice this construction, the sentence construction. What does that mean? He was said to have. Why did I say that? Well, that means I am saying that the government said it. I don't believe it, right? He was said to have. Maybe I don't know, or maybe I don't have an opinion. So I'm using these words because it was not me who said he hanged himself. It was the government. Now, by using these words, I'm showing you that I'm distancing myself from the official narrative that the government wanted us to believe, right? So I'm saying that's what they said. Whether I believe it or not, I mean, I'm just trying to distance myself, right? I probably don't believe it, right? I'm saying that's their story. My story is not that, right? And I actually believe he did not hang himself. Let me know. What do you think? You know who I'm talking about, right? So, his death will remain shrouded in mystery. What does this sentence mean? It means shroud. Okay, shrouded means like hidden, or actually the word shroud means like a covering, right? A shroud. And it's also the word that you use maybe to wrap a dead body in, right? Shroud. Back in the olden days, when a person would die, they would wrap the dead body in a cloth, right? That was called a shroud. Okay, so shrouded means like covered. It's covered in mystery, right? So will we ever know Whether he hanged himself or not, probably not. His death will remain shrouded in mystery. Those cameras in the jail just happened to go off right at that moment. Right, so when we hear stories like this, we tend to think of secret societies, right? Somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings, or another way you can say it is calling the shots, right? Behind the scenes. Who is it? We don't know. It's the powers that be, right? Some group, secret society, or some individuals that we don't really know. It's just the powers that be. Right now, you can say a certain someone. It doesn't need to be a bad example. You might not want to say someone's name for some other reason. Maybe you just want to keep it a secret. Right? Let's say me and you have a friend, and that friend, I found out that friend is in love. That I might tell you, hey, I think she has a lover, right? Now, I think it's a certain someone. I won't say who, right? Maybe I know who it is, but I'm going to keep her secret and I'm not going to tell you, right? Then I can say, I think she's dating a certain someone, but I won't say who, right? So we can use this in many different situations. Okay, so yeah, so that's about secret societies, guys. Now, take a look at this example. The powers that be have decided to lay off 50% of the workforce. The powers that be. Now, in this situation, are we talking about a secret society? No, we're not talking about a secret society like the Freemasons or the Illuminati. We're talking about the leaders of the company. All right, so this is obviously talking about a company, right? The workforce. That means the employees, right? Which company do you work for? Let me know down in the comments, right? Have you ever been laid off? Right? It's very common that sometimes companies go through layoffs. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong. They just suddenly the company decided we have to get rid of 50% of our workforce. Half our workforce. That's crazy, right? Who did that? Right? If you're working for a company and suddenly you get a letter or some notice saying, hey, your job is going to be terminated. Terminated means you're done. You can't work here anymore. Your job is lost. So if they terminate you, you might go to your boss and say, hey, boss, I just got this letter. What is this all about? Why am I being let go? Why am I being laid off? He might say, it's not me. It's the higher ups, right? The higher ups. Higher ups. That means the people higher in the company, right? So if you work on the ground, let's say in some company, it's not your boss that's making the decision to fire 50% of the employees. It's some people, probably in a different city, in some big tower, some not apartment building, office building, right? Some big office building, and they had a meeting, and now they're deciding to do layoffs. You don't even know who those people are, right? So you can refer to them as the higher ups. So we often use this word for companies. But like I said, with the word powers that be, we can use that phrase to refer to secret societies, or we can use it to refer to governments or to the leaders of your company, like the heads of the company, the top people. You don't even know who they're. Do you know who the CEO of your company even is? A lot of people who just work for a company, just the average people, they just go to work, they punch in, they punch out. That means they sign in. Maybe there's a card, right? You have to sign in, or you have to sign in or something like that, right? You punch in and you punch out. That means you go to work, you start your work, and then you punch out means you leave work. Right? So you just go to work, you punch in, you punch out. You don't even know who your bosses really are. There's such a convoluted structure in the company. Probably, right? The word convoluted means just it's confusing. There's this boss and there's that boss. Who knows how this company is structured? It's all convoluted. Convoluted, okay? So higher ups, you can use this word to talk about the leaders if you don't know who they are. Right? If you know who they are, maybe you wouldn't use this word, but you probably don't know who they are in your company or in your country. We can also use this, to talk about the government, maybe the higher ups, anybody higher up than you, right? That's what we're talking about in this lesson, right? We're talking about people who have authority, and maybe we don't know who they are. So we can refer to them as the powers that be. The powers that be, okay? So the powers that be want our education system to produce mindless sheep. Right, that's true. Right. So what does this mean? The powers that be want our education system to produce mindless sheep. Right? Mindless sheep, that just means people who are dumb. Kind of people who just go to work and kind of do their thing, and they don't question anything that they're told, right? They want people to go through the system and just become like good employees and just don't cause any problems for society. They want obedient. Like the word sheep is often used to refer to people who are obedient, who just do whatever the government says, right? Oh, you want me to do this? Okay, yep, I'll do it, right? You don't really think for yourself. You just, because sheep are kind of seen as stupid animals, right? I don't know if they really are. I don't know anything about sheep, but they're kind of seen as kind of like dumb. They just go wherever they want. I think they actually are pretty dumb animals. Sometimes they'll get stuck in a hole in the ground. Have you ever seen those videos on social media where like a shepherd is like pulling the sheep out of a hole in the ground? It's like, how did the sheep get stuck in the hole? What a stupid animal. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a shepherd. I don't know much about sheep, but so who are the leaders of the education system in your country? I'm willing to bet that you have no idea, right? If you were to ask me, Mark, who are the leaders of the education system in Canada or in the province of Alberta or in the city of Calgary? I would say, beats me. Beats me. That means I have no idea, right? Who they are, what their names are. I don't know if it's a group or a person or what. So I can refer to them as the powers that be, right? Because it affects our life, right? All this stuff, we use this term powers that be to mean that they have authority. It's affecting our life. We're average people, right? We don't know who they are, but it's affecting our life, right? So, I mean, our education system is useless, right? It's just garbage. The Canadian education system is garbage. If you're coming here to Canada because you think the education system is good, you're wrong. You're a mindless sheep. The education system here in Canada is just pure garbage, okay? So, why is it garbage? Well, I would say because they don't teach the three most important things in life. What are the three most important things? Well, money, relationships, and health. Right? When you went to school, did you learn anything about your health? How to protect your health? Did you have a class called health class where you learned about healthy eating? You learned how to cook for yourself healthy food, which kind of spices to use. If you've got a headache, what you should eat, or if your body's doing this or that, did you learn any of that? No, you probably didn't learn any of that. Right? So you didn't learn about health. You didn't learn about relationships, how to develop good relationships, how to fix broken relationships. You didn't learn anything about that. I didn't learn anything about that. And also money. I mean, did you learn anything about money when you were in school? All the way from like kindergarten to grade 12. What do you learn? And even in college, what do you actually learn in school? Nothing. Right? You learn about maybe trigonometry. Ooh, that's a triangle. That's nice. That's acute triangle. That's a obtuse triangle. That's a, who cares, right? That's not important for a person's life. What's important is how to make money, how to grow your money, how to protect your money, how to protect your health, how to protect your relationships, how to develop good relationships, right? Those things are not anywhere in our education system, right? So this is the powers that be want our education system to produce mindless sheep, because when people think for themselves, they don't obey the government as much as the government wants, right? The government wants control. But really, in a democracy, the government should be, what's the phrase? By the people, of the people, and for the people. Right? Have you heard that? You hear that, I think, especially in the U.S., I hear that phrase. If I'm watching some podcast about the U.S., they say that, but I think we say that in our Western democratic countries as well, right? The government is supposed to be, which one is first? I think it's by the people, right? So you're elected, the person who's elected, like the prime minister or the president, is supposed to be elected by the people, from the people, right? That's what it means, of the people. It's not supposed to be some foreigner coming to rule over you, right? I mean, that's why the UK left Europe. They don't want someone in Brussels telling them what to do with their, some farmer in England doesn't want someone way over in Brussels or Frankfurt telling them what to do with their life, right? So this is, get out of here. We're not going to be part of the EU anymore, all right? So a democracy is supposed to be by the people, of the people, from the people, and for the people, right? If the government isn't helping the people, well, what's the government doing? And when we look at our governments today, they're completely useless, right? They just serve their own interests. They're not really fighting for the rights of the people, and they're not really fighting for the well-being of the people. They're just trying to keep their jobs, right? So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I just thought of that saying, by the people, of the people, for the people. Well, guys, that's the powers that be. That's that phrase for you. So let me know, for homework, who are the powers that be in our society today? Is it people like Joe Biden? Or is it people behind the scenes pulling the strings? Do you think Joe Biden is the real leader of the US? Or is it kind of like some kind of a mysterious group of people behind the scenes pulling the strings? Actually, some people refer to that idea as the deep state. Okay, if you listen to podcasts, sometimes even like financial podcasts or news or kind of conspiracy theory stuff, you hear the term deep state, right? That kind of refers to like some secret agenda that's going on kind of behind the scenes, and our leaders might just be kind of puppets for the deep state. Kind of an interesting term, right? Deep state. So guys, let me know, who are the powers that be in our world? Who do you think are the powers that be? So I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this stuff, guys. As always, stay safe, and I'll just rock back and forth in my chair a little bit more here, and wait for your answers. So guys, I always love reading your comments and stuff. So thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks for always smashing that like button, for leaving comments. Hope you guys are staying safe. As always, I love you so much, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.